Hey loves, it's your girl MariahSincere, and I am back with another bomb live. Guys, this one is going to be a good one. I'm very excited. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm an American living abroad. I've been in Colombia for 2 years, and right now it's my birthday week. So I'm actually in the Dominican Republic. So I'm going to talk to y'all about my experience being in the Dominican Republic. I got here on, I want to say I got here on Monday. So I got here yesterday. I got in late. So today was really my first full day here. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into my expectations versus reality. And also, we're going to talk about some other things going on in the travel news and travel community travel space. So just remember, if you're new to my channel, to hit the like button and subscribe. So first off, before I get into my experience here in Santo Domingo, I want to share with y'all something that was very interesting to me. We have a lot of people who want to leave the United States, and honestly and truly, I'm going to say this: y'all are going to eventually on this channel see me do a tour of popular cities in the United States, because I feel like it's different when you get to experience the United States as somebody who is living there and going through the day in and day out of paying them high ass bills versus when you're coming to the United States as a tourist. I think you see things differently. I think you understand why people would risk their lives or why people would give up their entire life to come to the United States. And what I will say is, me personally, me, this might not be the rest of y'all who are traveling and living abroad. What I will say is, for me, ever since I left the United States, there are things that I appreciate the United States that I could not see before. For example, freedom of speech. That is so big. Even in a lot of other countries in the Western Hemisphere, they don't have true freedom of speech. And in the United States, as long as you don't threaten to unalive somebody, or as long as you're not screaming bomb in a building, you can say whatever you want to say. And you can genuinely and truly say whatever it is that you want to say and not be concerned about whether or not you're going to lose your life, or not be concerned about whether you're going to go to jail. So I will say that is actually amazing. Also, American optimism. I think Americans take for granted that in the United States, if you have an idea and it's a good idea, people will support your idea, even strangers that don't know you. I say this all the time. The most support that I get is not from family, and I have my day one friends who have always supported me, but the most support I get comes from strangers online who don't know me from Adam, but they see something in me and they support my vision and what I'm trying to do. And I'm so blessed. And y'all take for granted how in a lot of other cultures, they have a pessimistic society, or they don't have a society that tells them that they can dream big and follow their heart and reach their goals. So I think that's really amazing. Now, with that said, I do want to get into this article. It's just something positive before we get into all the extra stuff. Not that my life is going to be negative, but again, this is a travel space, so I wanted to share this. Now, I got this from travelandleisure.com. This is a really good site to follow. I'm not sponsored by them, y'all. I just watch it. So basically, this is saying that if you go to the best coffee shop in the world, is actually in the United States. It's not in Colombia, right? So earlier this year, the world's 100 best coffee shops shared its second annual list of rankings of Coffee Fest Madrid. So there was a coffee competition in Madrid. The evaluation criteria included coffee quality, barista experience, customer service, innovation, sustainability, pastry quality, and service. More than 800 judges weighed in on the nominees, and a whopping 350,000 passionate coffee drinkers cast their own votes. In the end, Onyx Coffee Labs downtown Rogers, Arkansas location came out on top. So in little old Arkansas in the United States, they won a world competition for being the best coffee in the world. So if you travel around the United States, or if you're like me and you live in the South, y'all visit Onyx Coffee Shop. Again, the best coffee in the world right now is in Arkansas, America. Okay. What they do, Sincere? What you mean? Nobody did nothing, but what's up? Celebrate life. 1K. Now, let's talk. Okay, let's get into my trip in Santo Domingo. First of all, I'm very sick right now. I have my tea and I have some menthol in here because, y'all, I started traveling on Saturday and I did not land here in Santo Domingo until Monday. Okay. So that was like 2.5 days of travel. So, of course, my immune system is shot. Okay. Luckily, I got this. Y'all, if y'all are ever in, this is making me feel better. If y'all are ever in Dominican Republic and you need some medicine, get this right here. Risperdal. Okay. It's going to help you out. But anyway, I got here and the airport was actually cool. The airport experience. One thing that I really liked is that it was a very smooth experience with immigration. I literally got off the plane. I didn't have to wait in a long line in immigration like you do in Medellin. Love you down, Medellin, but baby, the way immigration set up, no ma'am. I only travel to Medellin if it's like a midnight flight, okay? Anyway, so I get to the immigration officer and all they did was ask to see my passport. So they were like, passport, I gave them my passport. And then after that, they took my fingerprints. Mind you, before you go to the Dominican Republic, you do have to fill out an electronic ticket declaring that, you know, you're coming so that they know you're on the way. So I'm already in the system. They know what flight I'm getting off of. So after they ran my fingerprints, the first thing they asked me was, do you have family here? And I was like, no, I don't. I'm here for my birthday. After I said I'm here for my birthday, they were like, okay, go. They didn't ask me any more questions. They didn't ask me where I was staying. It was already in the form. And they didn't ask me how many days I was, none of that shit. And you know what? I like that. I love it. Because if I already filled out this funky ass form that you asked me to, don't be coming asking me the same questions over and over again. These Dominican people are very straight and to the point. And I love it. So then they picked me out. They were doing random people to do like luggage searches. So of course I get picked out of the group. It wasn't just me. My friend, when she came in, they picked her out. If you see both of us, I'm going to be posting reels of what we're doing. So y'all actually see some travel content. You'll understand why we got picked out the crowd. Anyway, so after that, it was cool. I got my baggage. I waited for her, talked to y'all on live. And we came to the Airbnb and it was seamless. So one thing I will say, in this neighborhood, we're over here close to like the Malecon, and it's over close by the boardwalk. And the building that we're staying in is beautiful. However, when I go walk around here, one thing I notice is that they are not very good at disposing garbage in this neighborhood. There's a lot of trash, like, and not even in this neighborhood, some other neighborhoods I've seen, it looks dang near like a landfill, which is very surprising to me considering that this is the capital. What they do is a South Florida saying, it's another way of saying, what's up? Oh, okay, what up? All right. Well, thank you for coming back. If y'all are just now coming in, hit the like button, jump in the chat. So I will say this. I think that their trash disposal system here leaves much to be desired, because the thing is, the water here is very, very beautiful. It's nice and blue. It's like a deep blue, like a deep, like teal blue. And there are some beautiful buildings here. They just don't upkeep them really well. Do y'all know who does this? To me, one of the best is if you go to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. You got those island buildings, though, a lot of those colonial style buildings, right? And they do a really good job of keeping garbage picked up off of the island. So I see a lot of trash. But then tonight we were riding through some other areas and I'm like, I don't see not a spot of trash. This actually looks like I could be somewhere in the United States. So But the trash here in this area, it is an eyesore, and honestly, it's a funk. It causes a stench. It smelled like turtle tank coochie. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. That's what it smelled like. I was saying it reminded me of this girl I used to go to school with, and you could smell in between her legs. You smelled her before you saw her, and she had a very distinct smell. It smells just like that. I've been to Dominican Republic. We're just not Santo Domingo. Oh, you mean not Santo Domingo? Okay. What part did you go to? I told you in the capital, you have to stay in El Mirador or Piatin. Well, maybe we'll go look at those places. Now, the Airbnb that we're staying in the view is nice. And one thing I like is that we can literally like leave here and go run along the Malecon, which we're gonna do this, tomorrow morning. But if we go like walk on the back roads around this area, there's a lot of trash. So I will say that's not a good look. They need to fix that. What I also noticed here is that there are so many Black people and different shades of Black people. And yes, I've heard the Dominican me no Black jokes or whatever, but I just did not realize how much these people resemble us in the United States. These are literally like our cousins, y'all. Like, literally, they got YNs. They got the dudes with the dreads, stitch braids, everything. They got everything here. And you know what was interesting to me? I was talking to a Dominican at the coffee shop, and we were talking about, the difference in how we classify race in the United States. And I was with my friends here. She's brown skinned. So I was like, he was asking, like, what would you be classified as in the United States? And I was like, well, in the United States, we would both be considered Black. And he was like, really? He was like, well, here, you're white. And I was like, that's crazy, right? Because what? But then I had to think about it. I don't see that many people. I haven't seen anybody actually lighter than me the whole time I've been here. So it's like their standard for what is like the lightest is very different than what ours is. And I told him in the United States, no, I was like, Latinos are not considered white because we have our own white people that are like Anglo-Saxon, and they're like white, way whiter, than even the average Latino, phenotypically everything, So it was interesting. He was interested. We had a very interesting cultural exchange. Zona Colonial is a poor neighborhood. We went to go eat there, y'all. I gotta tell y'all this story. First of all, the men here, y'all, they are hounds. I ain't never been pressed like this in my whole entire life. Let me stop sharing this. Like, we can't go outside without these men trying to shoot their shot. Okay, they shooting, they hollering from young to old, everything in between. They act like they ain't never seen no females before. And I was telling my friend, I'm like, they act like they don't see fine women. This is the Dominican Republic. And she was like, well, you got to look and see what's around. And when I thought about it, most of the women that are here in Santo Domingo, I've seen some cute girls, but they're probably not the same as what you might see in Punta Cana. Maybe all the girls who were like the quote unquote bad chicks, with the done up body, surgery, BBL, maybe majority of those live in other areas where there's more money and more tourists. Because I don't think Santo Domingo is like a tourist place, in my opinion. There's a lot, yeah. We went to this. Somebody, one of the people who follow me told me to go to cycle. I don't know. I forgot the name, but we did end up going in there, and we're gonna go back. There are a lot of Haitians. Colonization did a job on them. Yeah, that Caribbean thirst something different, and I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't even this shit different. And then like this old man, y'all, this pissed me off. So there's this old dude. we came and we were trying to go to this restaurant called Petrus. One of y'all recommended it to me. So I was like, okay, let's go. So this older dude saw us kind of wandering around because we got dropped off and we didn't even know where the restaurant was at. So we told him where we was trying to go. He took us to his friend's restaurant and we ate the food. To me, it was good, but my friend is more of a foodie. So she was like, I wasn't really feeling it that much. Anyway, this dude, it was like he was on us. Like he didn't want to let us go. He just would not leave. And then from there on, he went to every place we went. Like he was our like personal bodyguard. Finally, he was like, we got to get an Uber and get up out of here. Because if not, and I didn't want to hurt the old man's feelings. But like the whole time he was telling me how like in the Dominican Republic, he was like, yeah, we real caliente, kind of like they're corny, but with the H, I know what I'm trying to say. Like they get real excited. He was like, because we eat all these fresh fruits and plants and we have more stamina and we're more like, we're more ready. Then he made me try this drink, Mama Juana. And he was like, yeah, after the girls drink this Mama Juana, they be ready to go. Like they be ready to get it in. And I was like, sir, I'm not really feeling nothing. He gave me like a little shot. And he was like, yeah, because you ain't drinking enough. And I'm going to put the reel out on that, showing y'all him explaining that and what that is and all that. Santo Domingo Este is where the baddies at. We're in Este right now. And maybe we're going to see them when we go to the nightclubs. Maybe that's where we're going to see them. Yeah, hey, what's up? Santo Domingo is the capital. It is. Everybody hustling in that area. Maybe there's Mama Juana is strong. Hold on, Zamorant. You drank that Mama Juana? Why you drink that? Them niggas over there most definitely how y'all ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen, and it don't help y'all. Y'all gonna be hand when y'all see my friend, she built real nice. It don't help. It's a whole lot of ass. Like I got a big butt and then she got an even bigger butt. So it just draws like way too much attention. And we just be trying to ignore them. I have tried Brugal in a US version. That's my drink. So when y'all do see me drinking here, that's probably what I'm gonna be drinking on. I love Brugal. The problem with it is I like it so much that if I start drinking it, I'm not stopping. I'm drinking it all day. I got homies in the DR that brought it back to the States once. The Mama Juana. How'd they get it? Well, I guess they can bring it in. But we'll see. So honestly and truly, we're not gonna go out and experience the nightlife till this weekend because y'all know my birthday is on Sunday. And I have a homeboy from high school. Both of these are my friends from like school. So he's going to come. He's the guy who does that. We do digital marketing together. So for those of y'all who are interested in doing travel marketing, network marketing, then it's in the description box, or you can email me or something like that. So he makes all of his money off of doing taxes and travel marketing. So he's going to come celebrate my birthday. And he's like funding a lot of his trip on his travel marketing thing. So yeah, we're going to talk about that and we're going to be doing videos over that. It's going to be fun. Now, one thing I will say that I've noticed here is that people are they're not mean. They're not mean at all, but they're not as friendly and like cariñoso, like warm-hearted as Pisces. And what do I mean by that? It's not they'll say like buenos dias, but they're not with they're not with all the niceties. They get more straight to the point. Like, what do you want in this mug? Like, they'll talk to you, but they're straight to the point. They're not gonna baby you. They're not asking you 1,000,001 questions about your family. Like, what did you come up in here to talk to me about? Okay, let's get to that. And then once you're done, I'm sending you on your way. And they don't say all those pleasantries that Pisces do. So I do notice that. Also, they can be very impatient. So if you order like a Uber Eats here or something like that, and you're not outside to get it, that damn Uber Eats driver is going to keep on back to back sending you texts. Like, they are not patient at all. They are looking for a buck first and foremost. Well, I don't know. I talked to people here who, like, so far, I'm just staying within these past couple of days, who they really weren't even looking for us. Now, one thing that did happen, we went to this national park called Tres Ojos National Park, and it has like cenotes, and you can go underground, and there's a boat that takes you across. One thing that happened that I did not like is that there was a guy when we came through, he was like a tour guide, and he was like, hey, for $20 each, I will give you a tour of the park and tell you about it. And I'm going to pay the guide to take you across in a boat. Now, we had never been here and we didn't know what the boat looks like, but something told me to just say no, right? So then we were trying to like walk to find the entrance to get down. Nobody was going to tell us how to get in there unless we were trying to buy a guide, which was crazy. We eventually figured out, but before that, this older guy stops us and he's like, hey, I'll give y'all a tour for $30 each. What? So the first guy told us $20 each, right? So that's $40. Now y'all both work for the same park and you're telling us $60, right? Which some things just be the principle. Like, stop trying to play me. So then I was like, nah, we're good. He told us 20. Now you're saying 30 each. Okay. After I said that, he was like, hey, I'll do 25 for both of y'all. At this point, no. It was always going to be a no, but for real, no, because now I don't trust you. And I don't even trust you to honor your word because I know you was trying to run game on me. So you went from wanting $60 for a tour from both of us to now you will settle for $25 total. Then we get down to where the boat is, y'all. It ain't even no fucking boat. It's like a little raft that takes you from point A to point B. And it's not even that far so that you can get to the other side and walk. And guess how much it cost? It was literally $1 to get across. So y'all wanted us to pay you wanted me to pay you $60 so you could tell me about something I can literally like look up if I want to. And then on top of that, the boat ride was only $1. So they was trying to like get us for real. One thing about the police over there, look out for the tourists' hard body. What you mean? Explain that to me. $60. So I'm talking in US dollars when I'm talking about prices, y'all. He asked for a tip. Nah, he didn't ask for a tip. He was trying to get 60 US dollars. He brought it down to 25. But then again, and their biggest thing was, oh, we're gonna help you get on the boat and tell y'all about this these cenotes. And it's like, it's not even that big of a park. It's beautiful. I already know how these things are formed. And on top of that, the boat ride, if I just pay for it myself, is only $1. What? And it was only $4 to get into the park. So yeah, so just be careful, y'all. Anytime you go somewhere, and they know right off top that you're not from there. They will know even if you look like them. They'll know because of the way you dress, your mannerisms, the way you carry yourself. They know that they protect tourists over everything. Yeah, no, let me tell y'all, the police here seem really chill. I don't see that many patrolling, but everybody here just kind of seems chill, like they chill. I don't feel unsafe here at all. One thing I will say that I noticed about here in Dominican Republic that I don't notice, like that is very different from Colombia, is I'm a big energy and spirit person. And even though, yeah, people are trying to hustle you, I don't feel in danger over here. Does that make sense? I don't feel like I'm constantly having to be paranoid over here. And I don't feel like, though people are watching, I don't feel like there's any ill intent. Do y'all understand? It's a difference in energy that you could only understand if you've been to both places. Those of y'all who have been to both Medellin and Santo Domingo or other parts of Dominican Republic. Would you agree with what I'm saying? Foreigners call DR Scam Island for a reason. Well, I'm sure they're trying to run scams. And here's the thing about me. Coming from Colombia, having been in that country and dealt with those people, you cannot scam me, right? You cannot scam me at all. I'm ready for that. I'm true to this, not new to this. But somebody who is like never done this before or has not been living in Latin America, I could see why they would be like, oh, $20, that's not bad, and just go ahead and pay it. But my whole thing is, no, I don't like anybody trying to get over on me. Unlike Colombia, they let the tourists crash out. You know what I get the sense of? Like, this is island people in general. They be trying to find a reason to make your crash out valid. Like, they be like, when they hear what happened, they be like, that crash out is fucking valid. Like, absolutely, go the fuck off. Like, go the fuck off. Like, in Colombia, they have more of a, I ain't even gonna hold you. Especially in certain parts, this might not be all parts, but like in Medellin, especially in the South, like it's not polite, it's not decent to cause a scene there. Like they rather just kind of smile and go on versus say exactly what they really mean in a situation. So it's like if you bug out on somebody and it's valid, they're still gonna look at you like you're the problem, because they have more of a little bit more of a passive aggressive culture. But like island people are more like hard, rough, and it's like, bro, you like go the fuck off. I would be going off too. Like that's their mentality. That's their mentality. Like island people in general are like that. Like that was a valid crash out. Yeah, go off. Dominicans are hustlers, not killers. Yeah, facts. Yeah, they just want to hustle you. Colombia, they want to physically rob you. Yeah. That's called gringo. Yeah, of course. In Colombia, what's up, live life? In Colombia, them niggas be whistling and shit to give other locals heads up. Yeah, like in Colombia, it's like they plot on you more versus like for the little bit I've seen, it's not really like they trying to plot on you. Now, if somebody sees an opportunity to try to get some money, they will, but you don't get that sense of like, damn, everybody's in on some shit with me over here. It's more of like a every man for himself kind of thing going on down here. No, you're not blocked. Let me tell you, I tried to find your channel yesterday and I could not. So now I have to actually like, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of your name. So I'm like, are you Shadow Man or something? Maybe not. It's just I was trying to type in like the first 5 letters I could remember. But no, I only block people if they always coming in here just to troll. Not because like nothing. You don't gotta agree with me with everything I say. But if I see somebody just always trolling, like you are on here just literally just to talk shit, that's your main purpose. That's when I block people. No doubt papaya, still a thing here too though. They will get you if you're a lick. And that's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm saying you can come here and just completely let your guard down, but it is a different energy here in the Dominican Republic. It's a different, like, I ain't gonna hold you. It's been times where I've been in Colombia and y'all might think I'm weird, but I've literally felt like evil spirits. I don't even know how to explain it. And I could be, in majority of the people around you could be good intented or good people, but like some of the evil in some of those people's hearts that walk around is so strong. Like it's so strong, you're gonna feel it above all else. Whereas here, I haven't felt that type of evil yet. I'm not saying I won't feel it, I just haven't felt it, right? A place that I felt it even worse than in Medellin was in Cartagena. I felt a spirit. Like I remember I was in the walled. There's like a castle. It's like Castillo Felipe, something over there in Cartagena where you can walk through the tunnels. And I was doing a group tour. Thank God this time I chose to go on a group tour and not by myself. And all I felt the presence of like I was in the presence of evil, right? And I just happened to look over to my left, and there's an opening in a tunnel, and there's a woman and a man. They look extremely poor, but they look like they were like perched and ready to pounce on something. Like they were just watching. It was not like they were ducked off in there kissing or looking at something. It's like they were waiting to pick off somebody who was by themselves or got lost in that tunnel. And it's like that was the very first time in Colombia that I ever felt that sense of evil and desperation. And I just have not felt any of that here. Now, talking about the comment I left in the comment section after the live, I didn't see it. I have to go back. What comment did you leave? Let me look. I'm gonna have to go look and see. Were you hosting a party in Colombia last week? One of my boys who was opening up a liquor store in Mevi said he saw you. I was at a R in Barrio. He was talking shit. You know, they be trying to talk shit. Who? Which one? Did he come speak? What up, Grip the Monster? I was. Not last week, though. It was a couple weeks ago. You have to search the name exactly the way you see it with the capital Z. Okay, I will. Yeah, in Cartagena, you can't even enjoy your vacation in Cartagena because they be on you like a swarm of roaches, okay? You need some rain. For real. And like, I do try to be compassionate because I'm like, a lot of these people never, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't lived the life that they've lived for as long as they've lived it. But then I kind of think about what Austin Holloman, you know, he just left Vietnam and he was like, bro, it's people over here that's very, very poor and you don't see them acting like that. So I don't know. I think some of it is a mix of extreme poverty and some of it is cultural values. Now, this is not for me to try to paint all Colombians like this because there are Colombians who are too prideful and who would never. It's just that when you're trying to go on vacation, it's a lot. It's a lot. You think because I didn't see any comments from you. Like I can go to the studio right now and see. Was there something that they would have blocked on there? Guys, if you're just now coming in, hit the like button. I didn't see any comment from you. It was a live from yesterday. I went live yesterday. Okay, let me see. I did go live yesterday. Let me see if they. Maybe it's held. Let me see if it's in the hidden comments. Nah, I don't even see it. Hold on. Show hidden comments. Show. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me see. It says, here's what it is, Miss Maria. I'm one of the realest on YouTube. I call shit down the middle. That's why everyone was telling you to link with me. Now, this is what I have to tell you. One of my lives, I had to get at you for two reasons. One, and the most important, you called me a passport bro. When did I call you a passport bro? Passport bros aren't on my level. I'm as far above them as God is above humans. Do I travel? Yes, but I'm traveling. When did I call you a passport bro? And I don't know you. Oh, I think I know who you are. I think you left a comment on my Instagram one time and you were like, come on my show. And I'm like, I don't want to come on the show. Cause like, first of all, like I'm gonna be so for real. Glad you're enjoying DR. Thank you so much, Andre. What's up? Tell Andre I said, hey, Colombians here practice witchcraft a lot. Not the brujeria. Cartagena is a headache. I did not know they practice that like that, but people are telling me now. Even I have a homegirl, she has a Colombian boyfriend, and she said that he told her that his ex used to try to do witchcraft on him. I'm like, what? It ain't never been that serious. Like, you can go, sir. Like, you can honestly go before I do all that. I'd rather you go be happy. Like, what? Um, okay. Going back to what you were saying. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Hey, what's up, Rasha? How are you? I can't believe it. Okay. Girl, I need to call you because I'm sorry. I'm like behind on everything, work and stuff like that. And I need to call you. I look from my other channel and didn't know. YouTube, what happened is YouTube hit the comment. I think I remember you trying to get me to come on there on your show. And I'm gonna be so honest with you. I don't do all that. Like, I don't like going on people's show and I see a whole bunch of like misogyny. I'm gonna be so honest. Or I see a whole bunch of stuff that if I'm gonna go on a man show, I need to see that you're doing. You don't have to agree with everything women do, but you're doing your best to be like fair and down the middle. And I think you were kind of wanted me to come on your show because you didn't like what I was saying about the situation going on with the passport bros. Which let me be clear, I didn't realize that y'all just think that that's black men. So already the narrative that I'm just coming from black men is false. Okay. To me, a passport bro can be any type of man that moves to Colombia, and usually for a few reasons. It can be because he's genuinely trying to find a wife. It could be because he's coming down to Latin America or any other country today. Or for some, it's just they're coming for, you know, your weekend warrior types, right? And it's sad that they all got to be put in the same category because really it's not the same category. But just being realistic, that's how the world views it. That's how the world views it. And it's regardless of race, that's how the world views it. So I already feel like it was just ignorant for people to be any type of upset as to what I said. All this, I don't agree with you. People didn't agree with me because I said that Colombia will use you having condoms in your bag in order as evidence to inadmit you. That wasn't my opinion. That was facts. So it's like, what are we going to argue and go back and forth about? Even now, the men are making content and videos about it. I went viral for it first, but even the men are confirming it and they're showing stories. So all this narrative of people wanting to debate with me and go back and forth with me over that was stupid, in my opinion. So anything like that that triggered people, that was, to me, that was ignorant and it was dumb. Also, people got upset because I said that because of the way that a lot of the men black men are coming to Colombia in droves and going out in groups, yes, they are racially profiling. But that's obvious. That's just not my opinion. Even the black men keep asking, are they racially profiling? Seems like they're racially profiling. Seems like this, seems like that. Well, why when I say it, is it a problem? When everybody else can say it or insinuate it. So it was like, what was there to argue about? What was there to go back and forth? Especially when I continue to say my argument has never been y'all should never come down, y'all shouldn't come down here and pay for sex. That's never been something that's come out of my mouth. I don't promote it either, but I've always said you should whatever two consenting grown people do, that's their business. And I've also conceded that men pay for sex for multiple reasons. For some, it's because they can't get a woman. And for some, they're married and they want to go cheat. And they want the woman to stay out their feelings and they want to do their business and go home. There are a multitude of reasons. So I didn't understand the need to come on your show and debate that when you already started off with the premise that you didn't agree with what I said. And if you didn't agree with what I said, it's because you were listening from your emotions. So what else were we going to debate? Also, I don't like being pulled into a lot of these men's channels because then what it becomes is a retarded conversation. And do you know what a retarded conversation is? Where we start talking about simple, bottom of the barrel, low level shit. I'm not saying that you were going to do that, but I felt like that was going to happen. Like, just shit that is fucking stupid, in my opinion. Like these whole conversations about who's being submissive to who and who's not being submissive to who when this 2026, and if you live in the Western world, everybody got to go to work. is fucking stupid. This hyper independence that when everybody out here fighting for their lives, especially in America, to me, these are retarded conversations. Conversations about whether or not women should be at home having kids when most people can't even feed themselves right now. They can't even afford to take care of themselves if they need to, let alone a kid. These are pointless, stupid, retarded conversations. Conversations about women needing to, well, now I will say this, people need to take care of their health so that they can live longer. That's everybody. But conversations about women needing to be fit and all that kind of stuff, when majority of the men having these conversations look like who did it and why, are overweight themselves. I'm not interested in those type of conversations. It serves me. It's stupid. It don't serve me. Just like I'm not interested on the flip side with women. I'm not interested in sitting up with women having conversations with them about shit that's pointless either. Like, it would be dumb. I'm never going to be participating on a panel with women who were like, oh, these men need to stop traveling abroad for sex. Girl, this is a pointless conversation. They're going to keep traveling abroad for sex. And there's nothing you can do about it. You don't even want majority of these men traveling abroad. So why are we here talking about this? I would never participate in a panel with women who are like, men need to quit cheating and being faithful. Girl, this is also another dumb and pointless conversation. The ones that want to be faithful are going to be faithful, and the ones that are cheaters going to cheat. What are we talking about here? Do y'all understand? I don't like participating in nonsense, and that's why for a very long time I've been an island here, because I don't participate in foolishness. So no, I didn't block you. I mean, that wasn't bad what you said, but that's why I didn't want to have that conversation with you. And I don't remember calling you a passport bro. I remember telling you, I didn't call you specifically a passport bro. I told you, just like I'm telling you now, I have no desire to participate in foolishness, low-level conversations, because I get irritated with that shit. Yeah, probably so. You know, a lot of niggas don't want to hear the truth. They don't. The same niggas having these conversations watch their mothers work extra hard with no support. Do you know it's so many men on this internet that, again, I'll say this, a lot of single mothers, I will critique some of the ways that they raise their son. A lot of them are not being realistic and preparing their sons for the world. A lot of them are raising the same kind of man that they despise. So I'll give the men that. But at the same time, a lot of these men are coming on here on the internet and they're shaming single mothers and they're shaming men for being stepdads. Meanwhile, your Uncle Daddy was the only reason why you had Christmas presents up under the tree during Christmas. Your Uncle Daddy was the only reason why you wasn't sitting at home with your mama and the lights cut off. So a lot of these men don't like to admit how much they benefited from a stepfather. Or not even a stepfather, an Uncle Daddy father figure type. And to me, that is selfish for the next generation of men coming up. Here's the thing. You can't claim to love men. You can't claim that you want to help men and love men, but also try to prevent. Because here's the thing. Do y'all know I have talked to a few men now who are like, yes, right now I'm dating this woman and she treats me the best. And like, yeah, she's a single mom, but I really like her. And she's the one that rides for me. And I'm like, bro, why are you whispering? Why are we whispering? Why are you whispering? Like, y'all don't let these other grown men shame y'all and tell y'all, browbeat y'all about what you should and should not like, that you over here feeling like it's a secret. Like, you got like, it would be coming out if you said you're dating. Meanwhile, that shit was normal. That's what them old school dudes used to do. And this is not me trying to convince men to like single moms. I don't care either which way, because it's never been a problem for me. But I'm just saying, just some of these conversations are straight up foolishness. And y'all are not thinking about the young men that are coming up, that you are pretty much, you're trying to discourage other men from being a mentor to them that they might have never had. Even though a lot of y'all had somebody, y'all might have had a coach or a school teacher or an uncle daddy or whatever the case may be. And this is all in behind hurt feelings. You should be on panels that would be dope for real. You know both worlds. It's just that here's the thing, Jeremiah. Every time I try to go on a panel, or I like not every time, because you know what, Andre had did me right and Bate did me right, but these were like interviews. But honestly and truly, I don't trust a lot of these people enough to go on their channel because a lot of them don't have integrity. And I know they don't have integrity based off of the kind of content they're making, because if they had integrity, they would be more fair and balanced in their conversations. They would. So once I see that you do a lot of pandering to both sides, or that you don't give people grace, right? Because we got to give people grace. Once I see that you're not interested in that, then I already know what type of time you're on. So what would be the point of me coming in your pen? The whole point would be so that you could try to get me in front of your audience, and you could try to get some type of reaction from me. And then when you don't get the reaction that you want, or it doesn't go in the way that you want it to, then you just, I've already had this happen. This happened when I went on Mintuition's channel. I don't know if they put out that interview yet that we did. I don't think they're going to, because they called the Homies Hub gossiping and was not telling the whole full story. So I don't think they're gonna put it out. And it didn't go the way that they thought it was gonna go. But I digress. Curious what you think. Hey, Kelvin, should men still focus on becoming top tier for American women, or does dating abroad change the game completely? Men should focus on becoming the best them for themselves for them. Like, why do we keep on with this Americanist, Americanette? Be the best you for you. And if your life journey takes you abroad, then naturally you're going to date the women who are in your environment. Focus on building you for you first. All of this American women is, Latina women that, Slavic women that, like, bruh, just be the best you can be. And don't focus on, because here's the thing, nothing in life is guaranteed. Y'all got to understand this. And this is the part people don't talk about. You could be the best you could possibly be, and people still not fuck with it. You understand? Do y'all know, I know men who are tall, handsome, got their shit together, and they still are struggling with love, or they're still struggling trying to find a woman that wants to be with just them and sit down somewhere. And I know men who are short, fat, and bald and got a woman on their level, and they somewhere happy, minding their business. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. And until y'all understand that, y'all gonna forever, I'm not saying this is you, Kelvin, y'all gonna forever be bitter and fall victim to these pink pills and these red pills and these level up journey, these sprinkle, and the, like, y'all gonna keep falling victim instead of just saying, let me do me, let me be the best me I can be, because that's what I'm called to do. I'm supposed to be somebody that God can get the glory from. Not to start preaching to y'all, but like, you want God to look at your life and say, job well done, my faithful servant. Like, you came down there and you did what you were supposed to do down there. You didn't play with it down there. Instead of people focus on that, they rather focus on whether or not they can find somebody to lay up with them for the rest of their life. And when you think about that in the grand scheme of things, that's so low vibration. They looking for somebody they can cling to. People are looking for somebody that they can find, get with, and stop self-improving. Just get comfortable with. That's not how this thing go. This where ninjas go wrong. If you're not right for yourself, these chicas will kick your chest in literally. Don't listen to these white guys that be capping. Latin dating it's even more cutthroat than it. I'm already knowing. I already knew before. Now, what I will say is I do see why y'all are enticed, especially when it comes to Colombian women. All that, my king, my heart, my sky, all of that. It's a warmth that you don't even get in other Latin American countries. But at the same time, y'all gotta know that shit don't mean nothing. And yeah, it gets cutthroat. It gets cutthroat. When hurt feelings get involved and change feelings get involved, you gonna see it's gonna get way worse than anything a lot of these American women will do to you. I promise you. Just cutthroat. A lot of the times, as much slack as y'all like to give African American women who might put you on child support for a kid that y'all both have together, but she's assuming most of the financial responsibility for what y'all, another side that y'all don't tell is I know so many Black women who have been shamed. They would rather go without than ask their baby daddy for anything or put them on child support because they have been shamed so much for asking their baby daddy for help or putting them on child support. There are so many Black women who, even though they got a man on child support, she's not seeing a dime of it. They're holding it down on their own. I know so many Black women who have walked away from a divorce and they just wanted that. They didn't want shit from it. I just want you. You don't put me through so much. I just want you out of my life. We are the most likely to just say, give me freaking peace. My battery's dead on my camera. Can y'all see me? I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta come to y'all like this because my camera died. We are the most likely to just say, and culturally the most likely to just say, give me peace, to walk away from this. Like, I'll trade this for my peace. I'm up okay today for market. Y'all's priorities are all wrong. Stop worrying about women. Worry about that cream fur. Exactly. Worry about that. Hey, what's up, Kim? Hey, sis. Have a great time in PR. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I'm telling you, can your heart take it and can your pockets handle? Watch Lil Maria. She'll get you. What you mean? No, facts. But again, these men, here's the thing. They're so ready to dunk on American women that they're not thinking about all that. Y'all not even thinking about the fact that a lot of the Hispanic men, the same things that y'all are complaining about, especially from women, especially this younger generation, they're complaining about. They're complaining about how these women ain't traditional no more. They don't love them for them, all this shit. Same thing. So no, I don't have any interest in having those type of stupid ass conversations. It's low level, it's low vibrational, it don't deal in reality. It's dumb. Let's focus on let's control the controllables. All you can control is you, right? And let's give grace because ain't none of y'all perfect. That's the thing I see a lot. Everybody want to get on the internet and talk about what somebody else did or how, oh, the women are bad here and the men are bad there. And it's like, okay, well, who among y'all is perfect and doing everything y'all supposed to be doing? Because until that's you, you can't talk. Then here's another thing. People be shallow as hell and be mad when somebody else exercises their right to be shallow towards them. That shit don't make no sense. Be having all these requirements, and then when somebody tells the other boy, you don't meet my requirements, oh, all of a sudden it's hurt feelings. Oh, well, they just don't want good men. They just don't. And it's like, bro, you the same way. You got all these superficial desires. And man, once you meet your superficial match, you're going to experience the same ish soon as the honeymoon phase. And that's why even me, like a lot of y'all be like, well, why don't you do more dating? And it's like, bro, I never see another culture through rose colored glasses. Now, what I will say is in terms of like yes, there are cultures where you will go into where the superficial stuff is easier. So, for example, I do find that in Latin American culture, the men will just open the door for women more. And it don't really have nothing to do with whether or not he's trying to sleep with her. Or if they see you carrying something heavy, they're gonna pick it up. I remember there was my maintenance man, he was Mexican. And whenever he see me taking out that trash, he never wanted nothing from me, never tried to holler at me. He would come get my trash from me wherever I was, and he would go throw that trash away. Or whenever he seen me, he knew I was a single mom. So every time he see me, struggling going up them stairs with a case of water, he would stop what he was doing and come help me. And he never tried nothing on me. Never. And even coming down here, I see people are more chivalrous. That don't delude me into thinking that these men are any more faithful. Do you understand? That don't delude me into thinking that behind closed doors it won't get toxic. It's never game delusional. You're gonna be in that campo, no AC, fighting like hell, and they do things you never experienced before, or at least that age. Hey, travel lover. From a woman like 30 will pull something a mad teenager would do, like post her buns. Some have you so sick. Wow. I'm doing good. I'm actually kind of sick. I'm coming to y'all like live and sick. They're weird as hell. Yeah. Yeah, girl. But nah. And I was just responding to Gang Z. Matter of fact, let me go see what he talking about. Let me go see. You know what? I might listen to what he's talking about and I might change my mind. I might change my mind. I'm willing to be wrong. Don't want me to react to him? I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to change my mind. Let me type in his name exactly as it is. And let's see. I'm going to find a topic that to me looks, and he said he went in on me. And I'm going to try not to go in too hard if he did, because at this point I understand people maybe, the gangster life. Maybe at this point people know that I can get a little gully. The gangster lifestyle. Why am I just now seeing that that's what that was saying? Okay. And they're trying to get a reaction. Let's see. Now he said he went in on me a little bit. I don't know if he went in on me on live. Let me see if I can find the video. I'm gonna try not to go in too much because I honestly ain't trying to start another YouTube beef. Because honestly, I feel like I can spend my time talking about other things. I don't know if I'll be able to find it if he put it into another live. I don't see me. If he did go in on me, he didn't put me in the thumbnail. Let's see. If he went on me, I wouldn't be able to tell. Okay. Okay. I'm going to react to this. Straight black men. Now, the gangster life. I'm going to react to this video that you made. And I'm willing to be wrong. Now, on the surface, big gangs. He seems cool. Now, on the surface, this is a little bit inflammatory. Okay, because it's straight black men are not the problem in America. Well, sir, some are. Some are. Certainly not all. Some are. It's some problematic gay black men. It's some problematic straight black women and straight white women and straight white men. So some are. So already this is a generalization, but I understand we a lot of times will make a topic so that a title so that it's clickable. So I'm willing to be wrong. Let's listen to what this is.
Let me say it one more time. Let me say it one more time. Let me say it one more.
I'm gonna skip the intro.
I might have to cook. You know what I'm saying?
Cool,
I popped a Red Bull, so I got a lot of energy.
I know that's right.
You know? But yo, as always, let me start off with the scent of the day. Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition. It's the whole box, a whole big box. This is Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition. Now let me show you what's coming in the box. Y'all know I've been on that hunt for that Creed Aventus Absolute clone.
I'm gonna skip that just because I want to get to the meat and potatoes of what he's saying
about it.
Okay.
And this is also a light, soft scent. So y'all know what's going on.
Okay, they talk about scents. I respect the hustle, sir. So already he getting to the money. I understand.
I've been thinking about how am I going to come across and say what I want to say without offending or getting my channel canceled.
Okay.
Right? So, Natasha Duncan, you in the building. I want to say to the black women out there, and I don't know what's going on over the past couple of years, let's say from 2019 on, there's been a disconnect between black men and black women. So we got to come together and get that together. That's number one, right? We don't know what's going on that side. We got to write what's going on between black men and black women, right? So let me just say this to the black women out there. I hope this is not your leader. I hope that he doesn't speak for you. Because if this is your leader,
who are you talking about?
He gonna lead y'all down to a path of destruction.
Who is he talking about? Do y'all know who he's talking about? Maybe I missed that part. Who is he talking about? I hope this is not your leader. Oh, I wonder if it's the same person I was just talking about. Okay, the gangster life. I'm sorry, I was saying your name wrong because I was confused because you had all them you weren't spelling that shit right. I'm just being honest. That shit threw me off, and I be reading kind of fast. But I feel like you finna talk about who I was just talking about going in on, and if so, I agree with you. Let's see.
Natasha Duncan saying it started before that. It probably did. Me personally, I didn't really notice it until Kevin Samuels got hot. You know, I knew Tommy Sotomayor was out there talking what he was talking, but I didn't really pay attention to it until Kevin Samuels got hot. And then I seen what it was. I seen what black women were saying about black men. I seen the comments about black male babies should be deleted.
I like making my podcast. I don't like making short
Cynthia
clips
G was
of my
saying.
podcast. So the AI.
Where do you come from and what makes that thought come into your mind? You being the mother of a black child, the black civilization. Khalil, hit the link because I'm gonna need you to help me out over here. That's Khalil. That's why I want you to hit the link. Hit the link.
I'm gonna say
I need you to give.
Cynthia G is not like most women. Like Cynthia G's not on most women's radar. Most women probably don't even know who she is. I'll be honest. Most black women probably don't know a thing about Cynthia G or even Princella. I think I know who he's talking about. We'll see. We'll see, girl. Let me say this. In life, you don't really gotta promote certain messages because there are natural consequences. And like women in general are just like, this ain't even black male specific. Women in general are just having less babies. Women, like men have to understand this. When you go on the internet and you shame women for I need to share that again. Hold on. When you shame women for being single mothers, naturally that creates a fear in women. So a lot of women say their biggest fear is being a single mother, which that was never I don't know why. I feel like there are worse things in life to happen, but a lot of people, women have that fear. So you know what? They just stop having babies. And in turn, like a natural consequence of this is that like just less black men are born, unless black women are born, like less people are born. And like the more women hear men talk shit about them on the internet, the more they just say, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I might as well just don't. There are natural consequences to that type of rhetoric online, right? So when you again, men can feel it's kind of like one of those things where I say, people, y'all can feel what y'all want to feel about it, but at the end of the day, women are the only ones who have a say so over who can and cannot pass into this realm. And like, it just is what it is, regardless of how we feel about it. So yeah, Cynthia G, I don't agree that women should go wait until they get into their second trimester or find out what sex a baby is and then go abort the baby just because of sex. I don't agree with that. I think that's completely wrong. But like a natural and unintended consequence from these online podcast movements is that less black men are getting born. Period. And that has nothing to do with Cynthia G. Nothing to do with her movement. Less black men are getting born, less black women are getting born. So that's why before people go opening and running their mouth, they gotta think about shit like that. If you shame women for being single mothers, if you shame women for having kids with a man and then later getting a divorce, hell, some of y'all even shame women for having kids and being in a whole marriage. Y'all start acting like she's something to not be you know what I'm saying? Y'all start acting like she still gotta be, she done gave a man a baby. Y'all be acting like she still gotta be somebody that's undesirable and in bondage. That shit don't sound enticing. Men, if you had to sign up for that, does that sound enticing? Men, like that's why I say this is why you gotta put yourself in other people's shoes, right? Same way how I can understand how a man, it's not enticing to a man to sign up for a woman that's nagging, always worried about where he at, what he doing. He can't go nowhere. He can't have no fun. He can't go nowhere with his friends. I understand why a man would say, you know what? Why the hell would I sign up for jail? Why would I do that when I can be single and free? You know what I'm saying? And not even to cheat, just to breathe, right? Why would a man, you got to think, why would you, if the shoe was on the other foot and you had to go through all these changes with your body, risk your life for pregnancy. Why would you do that just to be in a relationship with a man that don't even respect you, barely want you, is saying they got money and pay the bills, so they're gonna cheat and you still need to be subservient? Y'all wouldn't sign up for that shit. Let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. So all of this online rhetoric is creating the natural consequence that less Black babies are being born, whether they be male or female. And Cynthia G don't have to never say another word. All these men got to do is come on the internet and keep talking, and all the economy got to do is stay as bad as it is. Hey, Nate in your state. Heard about you recently on the debate you had with the Colombian tour guide. Solid stuff. Now here to check what's up. Oh, thank you, Nate in your state. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, we have real talk over here. Like, we have real talk between, we see each other as humans over here. We have real talk. So welcome to the chat. Somebody said what Gaines did. I don't know yet. I'm not sure if he did anything. He brought up the whole deletion of the baby, like male baby, Cynthia G. I'm not sure he did anything. We're gonna see.
I need you to give me some pushback.
Now, he told me he went off on me in a video. This is not that video. I don't know what video he went off on me in because he didn't use me in the thumbnail. I'm just reacting to something else because he wanted me to come on his show. And I told him I don't come up because he was like, he disagreed with what I was saying with some of the reels I was putting out in regards to how Colombia is choosing to handle passport bros, which I didn't see what there was to disagree with. I was coming from a factual place. And even now the men are saying the same things I was saying months ago. It's just they take it better coming from other men. And I never told the passport bros, don't come to Colombia, don't pay for sex. I've never said that. I don't care if you pay for sex. That's really your business.
And plus, Khalil, you say you speak up for the sisters. The link is in the chat. Please hit it because we're gonna have a serious talk tonight.
That's the point, Daddy.
Khalil says, since when we start listening to moist dudes? Where is the women that say these comments? We gotta find them. We're gonna find them.
What men are y'all talking about?
They there, Khalil. I've been seeing it all week. Right? Hold on. Let me find this other one that OG Davis sent me. Because the same dude. Hold on. Let me pull this up.
I want to see. He about to pull it up. We're gonna see what man he's talking about. Because
I'm really trying to find there's some shorts.
Agree.
There's some shorts with this dude saying what he said. And I'm really, so y'all can get the whole gist of what this guy was saying.
I think I know exactly who he talking about.
Let me pull this up.
Let me see if I can.
Let me show you how we created this entire video in just a few clicks using TuneB. The moment you open TuneB, you'll notice something very different.
And the women, that's where it's at. Now y'all can shoot the messenger. Y'all can call me all type of.
Oh, he's talking about Funky Dineva. Okay, let's see. I don't always agree with what Funky Dineva says. Let's see what Funky Dineva said.
And the women, that's where it's at. Now y'all can. On some of y'all, not all of y'all.
Femininity coach and author, The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, Funky Dineva is going viral because he repeated a sentiment that he has actually held for quite a many years that straight black men.
This is what I say about the Crimson Cure. She is a panderer. She panders to straight men, and she has issues with pretty women because she's never been beautiful. I'm just being honest. I don't mind saying that. So I don't really like. I've heard some points that she's made that's valid, but at the same time, I never like. You should never trust women who all they do is dunk on me on other women, for male validation, because a lot of times that's just rooted in the fact that like she did not feel chosen her whole life. Now she has the opportunity by talking shit about women all day long to feel chosen. Same thing with Pearl, just Pearly. It's a lot of the women in these space. And like if you're an attractive woman and you want to gain a huge YouTube following, not even if you're an attractive woman, if you're a woman in general, all you need to do is either talk a lot of shit about other women and you're gonna get a lot of male support, even if you're not attractive, because you're saying what the men want to hear. Or you just talk a lot of shit about men and you're gonna get a lot of female support because you're saying what the women want to hear. It's really it's not that hard, right? Anybody can do this. And then, but here's the thing: once you go down that path, you gotta stay there. You gotta stay there. You gotta stay on that side. Especially when you've been doing it for years, like Crimson Cure has. So I don't really be checking for what she's talking about, because I know that's rooted in a lot of insecurity. And she already kind of like, I'm not even gonna go there. I know this is rooted in insecurity because she just was not given attention and adoration growing up. I'm just being honest.
Are the cancer, they are the problem ultimately in the Black community.
Right.
And now he has held this sentiment for a while. I ended up in my search for this clip or an extended version of the clip. I ended up going to his YouTube page and finding that there have been several videos centered around this thought on his page for the past couple of years. And I found one that I want to share a snippet with as well. But this is, in a nutshell, the sentiment. This is the clip that is now going viral. So you'll be able to hear this. Here we go.
It has now come to the time that we have a conversation. I have been saying for years on this show that Black men need to have a conversation, Black men alone. We have got to figure out what is going on with us. This is not something that Black women can help us with. This conversation does not include Black women. Black women, stand down and stand to the side. Black men need to talk themselves. And I'm going to niche this out a little more. And it's heterosexual Black men. I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to say it out loud with my whole chest. Straight Black men are the cancer of the Black community. That's where it starts, and that's where it stops. Well, that's where you're wrong, sir. I'm here to tell y'all something.
Okay, so it's a lot of straight Black men in the community doing wrong, and it's straight Black women in the community doing wrong. Sir, you don't want to talk about these DL men that's married and doing all this damage, sleeping with y'all gays. Now, I'm not saying Funky Dineva mess with DL men that are married in the relationships, but it's a lot of men in the gay community that contribute to the wrong that goes on in the Black community. So to just put this all off on straight Black men when y'all out here sleeping with a lot of these so-called straight Black men that are in relationships and you can't just put that on the straight Black men. You can't, but you absolutely cannot. Not when you cannot do that. Y'all, the gay Black men, DL Black men, y'all still Black men, y'all doing a whole lot of shit too. Okay, and again, it's a lot of Black women not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's a lot of straight Black women, gay Black women not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So to say that the straight Blacks are the problem, the straight Black men are the problem, I don't think that's fair. I'm not gonna say I agree with that.
something. All this shit that y'all got going on, some of y'all, not all of y'all, with the gays and with the trans, let it go. Your issue is not a trans woman. Your issue is not a punk or not a sissy. Your issue is all of our issue. Straight black men. Straight black men are the enemy to the gays. Straight black men are the enemy to the trans. Straight black men are who are causing harm to the girls and the women. That's where it's at. Now, y'all can shoot the messenger. Y'all can call me all type of...
Now, what I will agree with him on, okay, I don't know what he mean by straight black men are the enemies to the gays. Because what are they doing to the gays? And what are the straight black men doing to the trans? I'm talking about straight, like genuinely straight. I'm not talking about instances where these gay men on the low started messing with these trans and gay men, and now they having a fit of violence because they get put. I'm talking about genuinely straight black men. What are they doing to the gays and the trans? Now, he can make a point when he can say the violence rate, where these women are getting unalived, it's off the chain in these relationships. I ain't even gonna hold you. The stuff I see. But he gonna need to explain that. Some more.
Faggots on the Shade Room and all the other blog sites that's gonna pick this up and I'll eat it. But you'll never see a situation where girls and women walking around saying they scared of the gay boys. They scared of their life for the gay boys. They don't want to be around the gay boys. It ain't us going around with these fragile ass egos, can't take rejection. We've got to ask ourselves.
That's not necessarily true, Funky Dineva, because let's be so for real. A lot of these women are getting in relationships with men who are the gay boys. Just don't nobody know. I was watching this reel. Let me go see if I saved it on Instagram. I was watching this Instagram reel of this man, chocolate man, tall, muscular, fine, masculine appearing. And he made a reel and he said the reason why in the reel, let me see if I can find it. It said the reason why none of my relationships have ever worked out. And after that, he just was posting all these femme boys. For those of y'all who don't know, it's a boy who is gay and feminine and wear makeup, and they're not necessarily transgender or not, you know what I'm saying? They're like, they keep some of their masculine appeal, but do shit like a girl. And it was like him basically admitting this whole time I've been attracted to men that are somewhat feminine presenting. And this is why none of my relationships have ever worked out. But that's not a straight black man. That's a gay black man wreaking havoc on the community. Okay. Hey, Morgan. Chica, trabajas hasta tarde esta noche siempre. Estoy acostumbrada a eso. Hello, dear. Good to see you tonight. Hope you are safe. I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. Thank you. I appreciate that. But gayer than a $2 bill. Yeah. So that's gay black men you talk about. So a lot of these men that are causing harm to women, they are not straight. They are gay on the low.
And I don't even know if the black straight male collective can even answer this question because their egos tend to be so fragile. How is it we are raising boys with these fragile ass egos that feel it is okay to slam girls on their head for saying no? Why is it that...
Well, let's be very clear. A lot of these boys, this is where I have to say the men are right. That's where I have to say the men are right. They are being raised by their mothers. Now, whose fault is that? It's not just the mama fault. I know y'all like to blame the mothers for everything. But if the father would have been present, then perhaps he would have turned out differently. So we're going to give the mothers grace in that they chose to stay and raise their child. A lot of people like to hate the parent that stayed, and y'all don't have the same smoke for the parents that walked away. But I do agree. The women are raising the boys to be feminine. I even hear like, here's the thing. Women don't understand. I see so many women. Oh, if a woman hit my man, my son, he got the right to beat her ass. And what they don't understand is when they put those messages into their son's head versus back then it used to be restraint. Men, everybody used to say, hey, don't hit a woman, get away from her, don't hit a woman, or whatever the case may be. And they don't understand, women don't understand, once you start putting these messages into young boys' head that it's okay to hit women. And I know y'all think, okay, well, I'm talking about a situation of self-defense. It don't work that way. You've already been priming him that it's okay to lay hands on women. So now when he can't control his emotions, probably because you couldn't control yours and never taught him to control his, now he laying hands on these women. The download broke out in Atlanta about 4 years ago. Yeah, Atlanta, wow.
We have to
Y'all,
make,
please hit the likes in the comments.
the females of the community make all the adjustments. It's not fair. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. Argue with your mammy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Now,
Now,
Never,
let's see.
and I mean never say, sorry
Let's
to
see
bother
what
you.
gangs had to
Sorry
say.
to bother you. I appreciate.
Because honestly, I don't know what angle he's going to come at this from, but I can see why what Funky Dineva said was problematic.
What up, OG Davis?
What up?
Khalil is
You hear
here.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Salute, Khalil. Okay,
Salute.
I'm gonna give y'all a chance to cook.
You
But
can
let
hear
me
me?
say, yes,
Can you
we
hear
can hear you. Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hold
Khalil,
on.
can you hear me?
I'm getting feedback. Hold on, I think I messed up something. Oh no, I didn't.
Did you play the first video?
No, I didn't play none of the videos that you sent me yet. Wait,
Okay.
you sent me her video, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get to those other videos yet. We're gonna get to them. But let me say this. This dude, he's speaking about the Pookies and the Ray Rays of the community. The community. The community. Okay, Khalil, that
Black man, I need y'all to explain something to me in the chat. Who is Pookie and Ray Ray? Who is that? What I need y'all to define for me. What exactly do you think is Pookie and Ray Ray? I need a criteria. I need to understand. Who are y'all talking about? And what behaviors do they display in society and towards other men, women, and children? I'm asking that for a reason. But I need y'all to define who Pookie and Ray Ray is. Furthermore, it ain't just Pookie and Ray Ray that's the problem, y'all. I told y'all I used to work in a strip club. The men that's doctors and lawyers is problematic and doing all type of weird shit too. Weird, problematic shit. It's not just Pookie and Ray Ray. I've seen men that had professional jobs go and unalive the baby mama and all the kids, or the wife and all the kids. So every time we talk about this, what I believe is y'all are trying to have a conversation based on classism and intellect. And I don't think that tells the whole picture of what's going on.
feedback must be yours.
Khalil, that feedback must be yours.
Hold on, can you hear me?
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. I muted your mic just to see if it's you. Khalil, that's your mic.
Okay, I'm not gonna try what I was gonna try to do. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. I just don't
Is
want
it
that
clear?
echo.
Okay, it's not gonna have it. I was gonna try something, but I can't do it. I'll learn. I was gonna try these things out, but I'll test them another day.
Mic check
Okay.
one. Mic check 1, 2. I'm making sure we don't have an echo because I want to be heard loud and clear. Okay. This dude is not speaking about productive black men. Productive black men who raise their family. Productive black men who raise their their sons to be men. Productive black men who support the community. The community, not the community. There's a difference. Right? So when he says straight black men, you're not talking about straight black men, my guy. And listen, you're not a guy. You might be talking to males. You're not talking to men. Because all the brothers I know that I grew up with, the brothers who I bring on my panel, these are straight black men, productive black men. For y'all in the chat, for y'all see Khalil. Khalil's going to work. He's a productive black man. United States Post Office. Y'all know me and OG Davis, New York City sanitation workers. Shout out to all the New York City sanitation workers. Shout out to New York City Fire Department, NYPD. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to corrections, MTA. Shout out to the brothers who work in the private sector. All the productive black men. These are not the men that you're talking about. Because these men contribute. You know what? Shout out to my man. Hold on.
I'm sorry, I had to go make me some yogurt. I'm hungry. Okay. I see what he's saying. I'm going to be fair here. I see exactly what he's saying. He's saying, hey, men that take care of their kids and go to work and have good jobs and handle their business and are productive, they're not problematic. But I'm going to put it to you at a different angle, right? And this could really apply to women. So I don't want y'all to feel like we're just talking about men because they're talking about men. That's it. I didn't come on here to go in on men. We're talking about men because this is the conversation that the people that I'm reacting. So we're talking about men. They was talking about women. We be talking about women. Okay. Now, just because a man is productive don't mean he is not problematic. Okay. So for example, a man can have a really good job and raise his kids, but at the same time be bringing his wife a STD home every other week. He could be raising his kids, but also be beating on them and causing terror in the household and being emotionally unavailable. You understand? So let's not equate productivity is awesome. It's amazing. And it should be a standard, but we can't let that be the only determining factor as to whether or not a man is problematic, because there are other variables at play. And I would say that for a woman, if a woman is productive, that don't make her a good mother. She just productive. She pay bills. That don't make her a good mother. But let's continue.
Hold on. Shout out to my man, Frankie Sullivan. They do work in the community all the time. Shout out to Staten Island Hurricanes, Little League Football. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These are men that I know that do work in the community.
Shout out to them, for real.
You know? Y'all go ahead. I'm going to cook some more, but y'all go ahead. Sunday Night Smoke, what up?
Good, Khalil.
Just because a man is productive, that don't mean he can't be reckless.
Everybody said.
One thing I might agree on with what he's
Ooh, y'all hear that? Now that came from a man. I didn't listen to this. This is my first time hearing this. And I'm so glad that a man said that. Just because a man is productive does not mean they can't be reckless. Thank you. Again, I could say the same thing about women, but this conversation that they are having is about men, so I'm going to stay on topic.
He said, and you need to play it again though, is that a lot of men can't take rejection. He has a point there. And a lot of men that can't take rejection, they usually lash out disrespectfully, or sometimes they even put their hands on a woman. But another example.
Let's go there. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me finish talking, man.
Go ahead.
Another example, a lot of men that can't take rejection in America has become passport bros and traveling overseas.
He said that, not me.
Go on. Khalil, what's
Look at you. You just eat and eat. Do you even see what you look like?
I'm just having dinner.
go?
Oh, there go Mr. D.
Khalil, something's wrong with your mic.
No, I'm finished for right now. You can go ahead and say what you want to say because it looks like you want to talk.
Yeah, what you got to say, Coach? Say.
Khalil, what's going on? Yeah, I'm hearing that feedback. Khalil, something's wrong with your mic.
No, I'm finished for right now. You can get. You can hear me?
I can hear you, but there's an echo with your mic.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to go out and come back in.
Yeah. Actually, let me drop you. Oh, he left already. All right, OG Davis, go ahead.
Play the first video.
Yeah, I'm getting it ready now.
Not the one that you just played. Play the one that I said, this is 7 years ago.
Right.
Play that one. And you don't got to play the whole thing. Just play like maybe the first 3 minutes.
Okay. I love that you said this. Pookie and Ray Ray starts with athletes and entertainers, Caesar Bloom. I'm starting to believe that that's who a lot of men, this is what I'm seeing. Yeah, we know we got Pookie and Ray Ray, which is your hood dude who smoke Black and Miles. He might sell a little czar. Stay with his mama. But then I also see there is a faction of men who classify any man that's been in a position to have better luck with them, with women than them, as Pookie and Ray Ray. So, for example, if they're an athlete or entertainer. Now, a lot of these athletes and entertainers grew up in the suburbs. Might even went to private schools, kind of came from really good upbringing. It's just the name of this game is that you got to front and pretend. But because they had better luck with women, now they're Pookie and Ray Ray. It's really just hating on the low. A lot of it sound like a little bit of it not, and then there's some validity to like the Pookie and the Ray Ray is like a dude that ain't never been nowhere and don't got nothing. But then I see so many men online who will talk down on Pookie and Ray Ray for traveling, right? Meanwhile, when you meet Pookie and Ray Ray outside, for example, the real Pookies and Ray Rays that go to Medellin and they do pay for play, you will never see them put that shit on the internet. Why? Because they got a woman at home. They not going there because they can't get sex. They got that at home. They just like to cheat. So guess what? You will meet them out in Medellin and they be cool as hell. Ain't taking no pictures. They not trying to get anybody to come over there and do it. They trying to handle their business and go home. Meanwhile, you got some of these non-Pookie and Ray Ray types, the lames, we'll call them that, who are doing it because they have to, because not all the same. Like this, the most attention they ever got from women is coming abroad. And they're putting that shit all over the internet. So which one is displaying more ain't got shit, ain't never been nowhere, ain't used to nothing behavior? Is it Pookie and Ray Ray? Or is it the square dude? Because in my opinion, from what I'm saying, it's the square dudes that's acting like they ain't never got no women before and acting brand new and doing all kind of shit that's uncouth. In my humble opinion. Yeah, hey Gundam. What I don't understand is why people complain about people that travel overseas to seek out sex. They do the same thing in Las Vegas, Dallas, Atlanta, all over the United States. You know why? Morgan, part of this has to do because it's illegal. The dudes that's doing it in the States ain't getting on the internet bragging about it. That is the only difference. And that's why I tell them they don't want to listen to me. But if they weren't on the internet bragging about it, nobody would even care what they were doing down there. Artist formerly known as Mr. D. All right. So now we gotta call you Mr. OG Davis, right? What's up? Oh, I told you on your post the other day, happy birthday. I hope you saw it. But happy belated birthday, my Gemini brother. If you want to ruin a man, award him riches when he's young. Facts. You're absolutely correct. And I'm not saying these athletes and entertainers aren't problematic. I'm just saying a lot of the hate that they get from men is jealousy. I'm being honest. Nope, never been that Pookie and Ray Ray are just the hood dudes. I ain't never heard them to be athletes. Okay. Okay. Maybe they having audio issues or something.
Men are not the enemy. Yeah, Gans.
This is Mr. D. OG D. No, OG Davis.
How far can your apps go?
What's your new name?
Meet Base 44.
Social media, you just see all of these outward and relatively ignorant displays of masculinity. And I'm talking about the photos of, you know, maybe some black men in a suit holding their hands up like this. And then you have the captions that say, you know, America won't show you this, an example of real black men, no gay shit, no this shit, no this. And it's like, whoa, you know, let's have a conversation here. I'm black and I've got a dick just by virtue of what it means to be a black man. Because I'm gay, am I not one? You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't even know nobody was talking about you though. Okay, I see why the men are pissed. They show plenty of images of gay black men or so-called straight black men in skirts. So the straight black men that are doing what they're supposed to do and are in masculine energy have every right to say, hey, we don't get represented enough, because they really don't. Even when I watch a lot of movies now, they always have, it seems like now they always have a token black man. Like if they're gonna introduce a black man, he gotta be gay and the boyfriend is white. Am I lying? Think about a lot of these new movies. It's like they use the black man to check off all their boxes. He got to be gay and the boyfriend's white. Period. You don't see too many images of strong black men in their masculine energy. Especially not ones who like women. Let's start there. Hell, you don't even gotta have them like black women, just have them like women. But then, oh my God, if they actually like black women, I'd be amazed. So what it is Funky Dineva just inserted himself into a conversation that didn't have nothing to do with him. Nobody's talking about that. They do. They be the token. And it's like, oh, and not only is he gay, he black, but he's gay. And he has a white partner. Intersectionality.
So many conversations that we need to have. One being the definition of what it is to be a man. I think as a community, I think we're kind of torn on that. But what I wanted to talk about more importantly is the fact that straight black men have a lot of ills that plague them as a whole. And now in 2019, we have created an atmosphere, an environment, a situation where they are encapsulated with so much protection from the community that accountability has just gone out the window. Now, let me give my previous statement some historical context. To my brother's credit, yes, historically, and even present day, we live in a world where everything has been thrown at the black man, including the kitchen sink. Systems, protocols, and procedures have been put in place to strategically keep the black man down, target the black man, hurt the black man. And as a result of that, we as a community have had to create safeguards to keep our black men from becoming products of the system, or to better yet, keep them alive, okay? And this
how is that going for us? Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like YN culture, that's why you can't coddle men. Fellas, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but a lot of these YNs were coddled by the community and their mothers. Father wasn't there, or if he was there, he wasn't really present. And they've been coddled, protected from consequences while they were young from their mother. You're not supposed to coddle men. You're supposed to let men experience the world harsh while they're young, and then you be a guidance. You guide them. But you're not supposed to coddle men. And that's why men need other men that have their best interests at heart, but can also be firm in their life. But no, this is the problem. It's the problem. When you put too many, coddle men too much, what it produces is a whole bunch of sensitive YNs running around.
Stems back from slavery down to segregation.
Honestly and truly, I don't think that we should. This is going to be a controversial take. I don't think, y'all going to hate when I say this. I don't think black people should be taught about slavery when they're young. Let me tell you why. Soon as you start teaching black people about that kind of sensitive topic matter, for example, I'm going to tell y'all what happened with my daughter, which is part of the reason why I'm glad she's not in public school. My daughter was falling behind in reading. I took her out and I moved so that I could have time to homeschool her. And what I noticed is she could tell me all these assumptions she had about white people. She could talk to me all day about slavery. And my daughter ain't never even really spent too much time around white people, but she's sitting up talking about how white people don't like her, already feeling like she is behind in life and that people are going to treat her badly. Meanwhile, we never even lived around white people. Who's teaching her that? The school. The school was at a young age putting these thoughts into her head. So now she has preconceived notions about a group of people that she doesn't even really interact with on a regular basis. But she has these notions about them. So now she's going to go into these interactions with that in the back of her mind. Furthermore, how the fuck you can tell me everything about slavery, but you can't read on grade level? That makes absolutely no sense. What the hell are they talking about up at that schoolhouse? Is what I'm trying to understand. So I don't think that's something that we should learn at a very young age. I think that type of sensitive subject matter should be relegated towards children that are in upper class levels in high school. Because when you start putting in people's heads these ideas that they're inferior and that people are not going to give them a chance in life because of their skin color from a young age, that's very discouraging. Psychologically, it isn't good. No, it isn't. Most YNs are son husbands. They are. Yep, and they did learn it from their mothers. But guess what? We're not giving the men the pass either, because where was the father? Where are the fathers at? Where are the fathers? Everybody has to get it. Everybody that's involved has to take responsibility for why it's a whole bunch of YNs running around. I don't care if the woman was just supposed to be a one-night stand to the daddy. The daddy had a choice. The daddy had a choice. He could have chose to stay and water his seed, but he said, hey, this woman's just supposed to be a one-night stand, so I don't want nothing to do with her and the baby. That was a choice. That's a choice. Same way it's a choice for women to lay up with men that don't care about them. And some of these men pretend they care about these women and then switch up when they had a kid. Okay? I totally agree. They want to teach your daughter about slavery, but they don't want to teach your daughter about credit and investments and money management. Yeah, let's talk about that. Slavery, what the hell is she supposed to be doing with slavery? What can she do with that? And at this time, she was 8 years old. What are you supposed to do? What can we do with that? No, she wasn't even 8 yet. She was 7. How was that supposed to? Oh, it's this whole conversation where, well, if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. Yeah, I know I'm going the hell away from this foolishness. I know I'm going forward. I know I'm not living in the past.
Down to the Jim Crow South, down to the Civil Rights Movement, down to the 70s, up until now. But here's what we haven't done. I believe it is reasonable to say that in 2019, the world is a much better place than it was during slavery, Jim Crow South, segregation, Civil Rights Movement. Is that a fair statement?
It's fair to say that.
That being said, some of the protocols as a community that we've put in place that have been handed down from generation to generation to generation need to be reevaluated and updated. Because without having some of this historical context and without having some of the social ills plaguing us now that were plaguing us then, many of these brothers who have garnered some of the protection from the community have garnered it without any understanding of what it is, where it comes from, and it has now created a atmosphere where nothing is ever their fault.
Let me be clear. Slavery was not the reason why Black women were protective of Black men. women just in general, it's not a Black woman thing. Women just in general tend to, not even women, just the most communities. It's not just women, but I believe women are some of the biggest facilitators of this. Just tend to prefer men. They just tend to prefer their sons. A lot of these women just tend to prefer their sons over their daughters. They treat their sons better than their daughters, and they would be doing that whether Black men were or were not enslaved. Look at African culture. Look at Arab culture. Look at Slavic culture. Look at a lot of these countries in Asia. It has nothing to do with slavery. It just has to do with the fact that a lot of women don't like other women, so they're willing to be more protective of men. That's just true. That really don't have much to do with slavery at all. They would be doing that regardless.
There's no.
Okay, stop it right there. Stop it right there.
John is this way because he don't have no dad.
And I had to really see this for myself, because for the most part, I don't necessarily feel like my mom prioritized my brothers over me. No, as a matter, I don't feel like that. I had to really start observing women with their sons versus their daughters myself. And like, I done seen some women be so messed up to their daughters and like treat their son like that's their man. And you can't tell me that was a product of slavery. They would have been doing that shit. And that's why you need a man in the house. If you're going to have sons, you either got to be a strong woman that knows how to let your son feel hurt. For example, do y'all remember Ray, that movie Ray? And there was a scene in there where Ray fell and he's blind and he was asking for his mom to help, but she did not get up and help him because she knew that he was going to have to learn how to do this on his own. That's the type of mom you have to be when you have sons. In the literal and the metaphorically. Like, you got to really be like, you got to see your son going down a bad path early on. You got to notice some things about him that could lead to trouble later on. And you got to let him feel it and experience the consequences, and you can't come to the rescue. If you can't do that as a woman, you have no business raising boys as yourself, by yourself. If your son does something and you take his phone away and all he has to do is come sweet talk you and he gets his phone right back, you too weak of a woman to be raising boys. You gonna ruin that boy. And you know what he's going to learn about women? That you ain't got no backbone and you don't stand on business. Okay. Them the only type of women. A woman that know how to turn ice cold, not mistreat the boy, not abuse him. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you can't get real stiff and ice cold on your son, and if you can't grit your teeth and bear it when you see him taking chastisement from people outside of you, you don't need to be raising those sons alone. You don't. Not the air conditioner. You show right, because I'm not lifting it. I can honestly say I learned a lot about hard things starting work at 13. Yeah. Why do y'all think like some of this does have to do with natural chemistry? But why do y'all think, especially today's women, are socialized to handle a lot more adversity than the average male? And it's because people didn't always, I know y'all think it's this way, but in terms of family and household dynamics, especially if there's a boy in the house or there are males in the house, 9 times out of 10, these girls weren't coddled. You know, she was probably cooking for the brothers. And if she had younger brother, watching after them. And, you know, women are harder on their daughters. And guess what? It in the long term, it breeds positive results, especially if you can avoid the negative impacts. Like, especially if it's a situation where the mother could still manage to have a healthy relationship and not display any type of narcissism or jealousy towards the daughter. So if it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Women need to learn how to treat their sons the way they treat their daughters, even more strict.
Now, he's gonna start going into, you know, all the reasons of why or what people say is the reason that Black men are the way they are. And there is a lot of reasons why Black men have evolved in the way that they did. I'm not saying every Black man, but majority of the Black men today, and I can't give you the percentages because I didn't look or do the research. I just researched him and, you know, the subject matter at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Backpack, shoulder bag, or handbag.
I'm just listening, y'all.
One bag.
Listening. I'm gonna let this play.
Single solution. Unzip.
A lot of Black men today did not grow up in a two-parent household.
Facts.
And statistically speaking, in most cases, a man that has grown up in a single-parent household, I'm going to say, and I'm just going to throw this out there, I could be wrong, but 50% of the households where men grew up in a single-parent home with their mother, 50% have become what he's calling the ones that are not taking accountability, the ones that are doing things that they ain't got no business doing, the ones that are lashing out from rejection. Because listen, lashing out from rejection is not a masculine trait. It's a feminine trait. Go out there and reject a female. And trust me, what it will do to a female emotionally, especially a female that believes in their heart of hearts that they the baddest woman on the planet or the baddest thing since sliced bread. They're not going to take that well. You know what I'm saying? Men should be able to take rejection because it's in their nature, in a masculine nature, that rejection is like, all right, cool. Now, yes, in situations like if you might have not gotten a job or whatever, that's a different situation. Because men are very competitive in that. And I'm not saying that men are not competitive in females, but masculine men know that there are many women out there versus just one woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these men today, especially the brother that's speaking, Funky, whatever his name is, I can honestly sit here and say, just by the way he talking, he didn't grow up in a two-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't grow up in a two-parent household because just 7 years ago, this is what you were speaking, and you were giving historical factors about why Black men, and I'm not even going to go into the gay aspect of it, but just Black men in general, the reasons and everything. Now you're saying that Black men are the cancer. I mean, what happened in
a lot of these men, this one thing I want to talk about. But we're gonna keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. A lot of these men in Funky Dineva's generation, and I even say a lot of these boys, y'all know why they turning out gay? It's crazy. I worked at a high school, and I would say an all-Black high school. And I would say, and I didn't think this until I worked there, at least 80% of the boys are either gay or down low. Now, another thing don't get talked about enough is a lot of these boys start getting touched young. By who? Other men in the community, sometimes other women in the community. And here's the thing, men take that type of shit to the grave. So it's a lot of reasons why there's such a high rate of homosexuality. Okay. Hey, what's up, Colombia to Colombia? Just catching up, but you attribute YNs running around to the men that aren't there? I do. And not the women raising the YN? I do. To both of them. This is one of those situations where it's not an either or. Now, we're going to give the mother grace because she's actually staying, raising, and taking care of the responsibilities of having a son. But she's way in over her head. And a lot of these women raise the exact same type of men that they hate, and they don't want to take any responsibility for that. They want to act like they don't know why he became that way, without reassessing the fact that every time somebody tried to enforce a consequence, she stood in the way. Every time somebody tried to correct him, she stood in the way. Every time she was supposed to have a backbone and enforce consequences, she chose to take the easy route and give him what he wanted. So yeah, she is to blame, but it's 50% of that. It's the men too. It's the men who are making conscious decisions not to be there for their child. Because at the end of the day, that's a child. That's a child. Even though women chose the government over the man being in the house, and here's the thing, the majority of women are not on welfare though. So we can go back to we can go back to the 19, we can take it all that. What do that have to do? There are so many women who are not on government assistance and the men are not in the house. And it had nothing to do with the fact he's not in the house. I don't have anything to do with her trying to keep Section 8 or food stamps or whatever the case may be. He's just not there. We can't keep going. That's what I'm saying. We can't keep going back to the 60s. We can't keep going back all the way then. And even if Black men couldn't be in the house, that didn't mean that they couldn't choose to be an active father, meaning you don't live there, but you're very much in your child's life. So all of that, no, that's not an excuse. It's just, let's just chop it up to some men just don't want to handle their responsibilities.
7 years to you that created this narrative that Black men are the cancer, that Black men can't take rejection, that Black men now, again, like I said, if you want to be analytical about it, yes, a lot of men have grown up in single parent households led by their mother, and what their mothers have taught them, and not in all cases, because there are some mothers that made sure that there was an uncle around like, yo, teach that boy how to be a man and this, that, and the third. But in most cases, you have a lot of feminine energy out here. And what do feminine energy do to men? They go back and forth with women. They throw temper tantrums. They do all these things.
You're right, Mr. OG Davis. And guess what? We're going to see an increase of that because now you have men who weren't able to date a lot of these single mothers telling other men not to date single mothers. So now it's seen as an embarrassing thing to do. So unfortunately, we're going to see an increase in this white inactivity because it's a lot of men growing up with no fathers, and men are telling other men not to step in and fill in the gap. Men are telling other men not to care about young men for the sake of trying to punish the mother or whatever the case may be, for the sake of trying to take revenge on the mother. That's exactly what's going on here. These talking points is crazy and wrong. Which ones? So we're going to see a whole lot of YN. The YN behavior has really just begun. Imagine when Gen Alpha and younger Gen Z are grown. Oh my gosh.
That if there was a father in the household, that would have got nipped in the bud right away. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Cook.
Jay Devon, welcome to the panel.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree with
welcome.
everything Mr. D
I
said.
appreciate the invite.
G. Davis said.
You know, yeah. How y'all doing today?
We good. We just trying to unpack this. What you got to add?
Nah, I just wanted to say that, you know, I agree like a little bit of what you guys are saying, but I think it's a slight difference when you're just dealing with a random chick versus just somebody that you're committed with, or even more marriage. You know, I understand sometimes where guys kind of get a little emotional when it gets to that point. But, you know, if you're just dealing with a random chick and she rejects you and you just lashing out, that's insane. Like, you know, that's diabolical. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, like, whether men want to admit it or not, you know, women and men, we both have emotions. I don't think that, like, we necessarily control it. We just learn how to regulate it, you know, throughout being with the, you know, like, you have 2-parent homes. Yeah, you see your dad, you see your mom, how they operate. I was raised in a 2-parent home. Yes, I didn't always, my parents had more good times than bad, but a lot of people are not being honest. Like, sometimes you did see times where it wasn't always like the man was always showed that they were, like, you know, controlling their emotions. You know, at least that's what we think. They might be regulated to where they don't escalate to a certain point. But if a man feels disrespected, especially by a woman that he's committed with, his wife,
That's not what
a
I
man,
said.
he may.
That's not what I said. Caesar Blue 5. I said, based on what I saw and the homosexual activity that I observed from the young man at the high school, I would say at least 80% were gay. Yes. I'm talking star football players, star basketball players, boys that you would never even think. Stuff that was going on in the bathrooms. A lot of this has to do with corn. They're getting real freaky, you know. The corn to homo and young boys. I'm not saying that rate is the same for like millennials, but we have a problem with young Gen Z. We got a problem. Do you understand? It's a whole lot of going on. And the corn to closeted homosexual pipeline is real. For real gay. For real gay. For real gay. And hiding it. DL. Yes. From what I observed, I would say in my sample size, 80% of the young Black men are gay or have engaged in homosexual activity. It's not taboo. It's very common. It was so many times where I saw young girls fighting, and I knew that they were fighting over a boy that was sleeping with a gay boy or had did something with a gay boy. I couldn't say nothing. Couldn't say a word. Could not say a word. And you would have never looked at the young boy and known. I would have never. You can't tell. We're at a point in time where the lines are so blurred. You can't tell. You cannot. You can now. I'll say this: if your spirit of discernment tell you that man is gay, you're probably right. But it's something that will never hit your radar. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. I'm not saying that 80% applies to Gen X or millennials or older. I'm talking about what's going on now with Gen Z, and perhaps Gen Alpha will inherit that problem. We got a big problem, y'all. That being gay, that's not rare. That is the new norm. Being gay on the down low, that is the new norm. It's not rare. Not at all. It ain't just that ATL thing. These young boys out here, and again, a lot of it is because they are watching corn way too young. And after a while, that regular stuff, that men and women, it's not doing nothing for them. They start watching these boys. I can't tell y'all how many little girls. I found this on it. It was 2 boys on his phone. He was watching this. It was 2 boys. He'd be like, who? Who are you talking about? Never. What? Yes. Okay.
Talk to you. He may sit there and, let things slide for a moment. And he may sit there and even talk to you about it and correct you without raising his tone or whatever. But if it comes deliberate and you see it, at some point, that man is not going to be as nice. He's going to get stern. And I've seen that, my mom passed away 6 years ago. God rest her soul. It's Mother's Day coming up soon. And she was a good woman, and my dad, he's still living. He's a good man. They both was there for each other. When my dad couldn't do things, when he lost his job or whatever, she was there for him. She might not have liked it all the time, but he did what he had to do to make things happen. My mom got really sick, had juvenile diabetes, so he had to pretty much take on and take on the finances 100%. But my mother was
actually, I like this conversation. I'm gonna have to finish reviewing this. Gangs. The reason why I'm reviewing this because Gangs said I called him a passport bro. I did not call him that, and I don't think he'll be able to produce any material of me calling him that. But he invited me on his show, and because of the way that he came at me, I declined because it seemed like this is going to be a situation where he tried to get me into a gender war fight. And I think that's foolishness, and I don't got time for that. Okay. With that said, upon further review, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. I haven't heard enough of what he thinks. I'm listening to everybody else. But I do like this discussion so far between men. I see their point. So I'm going to say the verdict is still out. He did say that he did a video going in on me. I don't know. I got to find that video because what did you say? Because that's going to determine a lot of how I feel about you, honestly and truly. Because what did you go in about? Because if you went, what exactly did he say? So I would like him to tell me what video that he went in on me about. It might not even be that bad. So I'm actually going to find that video and we shall review it. But so far, I have not seen him say anything in this video that would raise any flags for me. But also, he's been letting other people talk. I think this was an interesting discussion. I don't know how we got here because we were talking about Santo Domingo. But hey, it's a long live. We're going to talk about a lot of things. With that said, y'all tap that like button on the way out. And I'm going to come at y'all tomorrow and we'll continue the discussion. With that said, y'all have a good night.